video.
Of what?
Today we are in Bath, the historic town of Bath. And I got the beautiful and talented Melanie here to show me around.
Hi.
She used to live here and actually went to school in the building right up the street there. Our first stop is going to be St. Thomas's Church. It's supposed to be creepy and haunted and stuff, but we're gonna go find out. So here is the sign for this church. I'll get up here so you can see it. What went on here?
So, welcome to St. Thomas Episcopal Church. This is the oldest Episcopal church in the state of North Carolina. It is still in operation today, and I believe the sign says 1734. The original building still stands. So,
The Blackbeard attend services here.
probably so. The famed preacher Whitefield attended this church, and he was the preacher that cursed the town of Bath, North Carolina.
Oh look. Are these all like...
There are some gravestones that are pretty old. It's been a while. You would be challenging my memory. I do know that there is a little girl's crypt in the basement of this church, which is why this church happens to be so darn creepy.
It's always open. Actually, I watched a video this morning before I left to get you that said it was always open. I guess it really is open.
Yeah. Well, a church is supposed to always be open and welcome everyone.
Just kicked a rabbit out of his hiding spot. All right, we are gonna go in the church. I don't know if you can see that. So you just go in? Yeah, it just like added to it. So they still actively use this?
Sundays we offer morning prayer only at 9.
I was like, how does she know all this?
Handy dandy little pamphlets.
Yes.
I heard that there was 3 graves underneath this church. Yeah. Particularly scary one, of course, is the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people that say that if you do the whole Black Aggie, look in the mirror and do the Black Aggie 3 times,
Is that like a
that she'll appear.
Bloody Mary?
Yeah. But I was never brave enough to try it.
Let's go try it. Is there anything else? There's a plaque over here too. No, no. Reverend John Garcia, first minister.
1733 to 1744. First one.
Yeah, cool piece of history. So to see her looking out the window, what do you say?
You're supposed to say Black Aggie 3 times and turn around and you'll see her looking at you through the window.
What do you say?
I'm not saying it again. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. I was just gonna say it. Come on, one more time.
Beetlejuice. I don't mind doing Beetlejuice. But she's supposed to be buried in the basement of this church.
Well, there's one way to find out. Looks like they reinterred everybody else here, so.
Well, you guys should try to find the cellar first.
It's down there.
I think the door's actually on this side. I think the cellar was probably
That's a big tree.
oak tree too. Big oak.
Does this thing even have a basement? Why would they build a basement? I think it's a myth.
Nobody knows. Well, they used to have like root cellars and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it floods here
I know.
every year, so
Blue.
that was my thing. I don't think I was recording any of that the whole time.
Can we see anything on it? My eyes are too bad.
It says it's Latin. No, I'm kidding. I can't make out any of those dates. Need a.
Etching paper.
Well, that's a headstone. That's a footstone. It's probably a little baby.
Well, usually they put the lambs on the headstones of the children.
Got a bee chasing me. All right, bee's gone. 1878, 1935. Like the early 1900s was the main date here, date of deaths. Why isn't anything growing here? Why do these look fresh?
They probably are.
No.
People still go to church here, man.
Yeah, but 1959 and 1963 isn't.
Oh, maybe they had to replace it for some reason.
1965. Weird. I've just never seen it where it doesn't grow back. That
That looks like a mausoleum.
when I did my field school, my archaeology field school down in Wilmington, this is where people were buried. So this is just placed on top of the ground. So they still fill it in, and then they just build this up around it and then fill in the top. So
Like a mausoleum.
I guess, yeah.
So
So there's
it is
still
actual
6 feet plus this last 10 inches. Yeah.
There's no marker.
No, it's that one that we did down there. It was from the 1700s. Skeletons in like perfect condition. Perfect.
There's an old one around the corner, but it's 1890 something. There's our bunny.
There he is. So now we're at Bonner's Point. Is this the Bath Creek they call it?
Yes, this is Bath Creek.
And then that's the opens up to the Pamlico Sound. Pamlico?
Yes. Pamlico Sound and then into the Intercoastal Waterway. Which is why Bath was such a huge port town, because it directly connected to the Intercoastal Waterway. But it was far enough inland where they had some privacy.
Uh-huh. So this town used to be what Pattaya, Thailand is now. Yeah, so these houses aren't originals, right? Actually, this one.
No, most of them are not. There was a fire like any other colonial town in America. Destroyed a lot of the historic sites. There's a few left. I want to say this is Blackbeard's reconstructed home. Not 100% sure. I used to think it was painted red for some reason.
Yeah, when I was watching that video, it showed one looked just like this, but it was that orange, like, or red, like what's on that.
Yeah.
They call it Spanish red or something, I think they said. So if nothing else, this is close to what Blackbeard would have lived in, and pretty much in the same place. He probably stepped right here where I'm stepping now. That's kind of cool. Arr.
Most likely, we are walking on ground that he is stepped on.
Yes.
It is definitely in this area.
What's the deal with this house in the corner?
That is another historic site.
So every so often, this place gets some weather phenomenon where all the water blows out into the ocean.
Super tide.
Super tide?
It's called a super tide.
Super tide. So like all this, oh, look at that big bird.
That herring?
Yeah. But all this will be, you could walk through it in the mud, like absolutely no water.
The boats will literally be laying on their sides in mud.
But then when it comes back the next day, it starts to come back in, you can look out here and see Queen Anne's Revenge coming up over the horizon on the water. The ghost of it anyways. Well, I know where I'm going to be the next time it does it.
It's got to be a full moon and it's got to be a super tide.
Oh, geez, now they're getting all specific.
Yeah, you have to get very specific with ghosts.
I think being a pirate, they just take what they can get.
Yeah, right?
All right, there's a sign for the star of the show here. You know, it's famous what this guy is. You think they'd have a little bit more about him here.
Well, he was kind of the dreg of society. I mean, he was a pirate.
That's what this whole town was made up of, though. So this is the Bath. Is this the first school they had here?
Yes. When I was
How old is it? Melanie went to school here.
I was part of the last 8th grade middle class to graduate from Bath School. When I was growing here, it was the oldest K through 12 school in North Carolina. It was still in operation.
A lot of history in this town.
That actually used to be the office, the principal's office was over here.
Spent a lot of time there?
Hours of operation. Tuesday through Saturday. They're still open. And we can go in.
Let's see. Sure is.
Oh my gosh.
All right, going into school. So we're inside the school. They got this little museum thing set up here.
There's the principal's office. It's right over there.
Principal's office is now the bathroom. I thought this was kind of neat. Showed imports and exports. So life was much different. Wasn't like stuff came into a port and went all over. It was just this was pretty much America at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as a bustling town, this was it. And Jen is still at the bottom of the list. I find it funny though, it's above gunpowder.
Great.
Melanie says that house is haunted and she won't even walk over towards it. Just kind of catty corner from the school we were just at.
Excuse me, the creep.
All right, I'm gonna grab a drink and then want to go see that other graveyard real quick and see what the dates are. And then I'll show you what Randonautica does. All right, we're at the last graveyard that we're gonna see here in Bath and all the other historic sites around here. So what's the deal with this house? That was the governor's or the mayor's?
I think that was the mayor's house.
There's like
Well, that's the map in the car.
there's a well. I think that was the smokehouse. And I don't know what the deal is. That house over there, some significance to it. I know they got a garden.
That's the Van de Veer house, I think.
Who was he? What a significance, do you know?
I think he was like a farmer. Again, I don't know 100%.
All right, now we're back into the 18th century. So here's one, 1761, he died. Somebody, if I remember right, they're, yeah, see the brick around here? So this one actually dug in with it, but it has that same,
The brick.
yeah,
Brick.
probably. It's in here somewhere.
Go that way? Or does it go this way?
Imagine.
There could be another grave there. 'Cause
Could
it
be.
looks like it's humped up.
Grave robbers would think that this is like, especially the ones like this where they're above ground.
Uh-huh.
They think, oh, that's where fancy John Smith was buried back then, who had lots of money, and they'll break it open and find out it's just filled with dirt. They're still buried way down in there. 1758. It's a 19-year-old.
She was old.
M. Mary Evans.
She must have had a very prominent family to have a grave marker like that.
Yeah. Could bloom of youth, could universal love, could tears of parting friends to pity move, relentless. They still use that F for like an S.
When did she die?
Oh, 17, departed this life 1758, January 31st.
I was wondering if that was Blackbeard's wife. I think her name was Mary. Mary something.
Mary Evans.
Was that his wife?
Is that her? I think there'd be something on there about, well, maybe not.
They're trying to cover up the Blackbeard history here. So.
Yeah.
But I thought she was beheaded here. He died in 1718.
And
Something like that.
the name is MRS, considering we still use that tradition today.
Yes, and she would have been a married woman.
Mary Evans. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Prominent family, because you remember he decided to leave the pirate lifestyle to settle down with a prominent woman from Bath.
All right.
In 43.
Okay, I just had to Google Blackbeard's wife's name. Her name is actually Mary Ormond.
I knew it was Mary.
Yeah, after you said that, so I was thinking, I know that name. That's probably Mary Ormond. They're trying to keep her in there.
Oh,
Now, are these lined up north, south, east, west?
probably. They look pretty. Yes, that's west.
The sun's setting over there.
Big cooktop.
You go that way, you go back to the normal United States. I thought this grave cemetery is bigger. I don't know. Maybe they picked up and moved.
We don't think so. They don't like moving graves a lot.
So Marsh, this, oh, never mind. I was gonna say, I was thinking his wife's name was Marsh, so she must have been here at the money, but that was his name. All right, so that's it for Bath. I think we're going to, I'm gonna try to get some more out of, more what?
Air conditioning.
Yes. We got to go get a drink. It's like 95 degrees and humidity is probably about 200%. So go get a drink, and I'm going to try to get some more historic sites on the way back out of Melanie. And
next, the Oakwood Cemetery in Washington, North Carolina.
we doing that today, or is that another day?
It's on the way home.
Oh, I guess we're doing that today. All right, off to get some fluids.
It's the oldest part.
All right, we're back in Washington, North Carolina, and we are at Oakdale Cemetery. And what's the deal with this?
It's one of the oldest graveyards in the area. There's actually a Civil War monument up here on our left. And you can find graves, markers in the 16 and 1700s here.
That will be the oldest thing I found so far.
Yeah. And there's some that are so old that the numbers have worn off of them. Here is the Civil War monuments. They've got grave markers of the Civil War soldiers. And then you can stop anywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to start up in this hill, so if someone does come, they can.
So they've put a lot of new ones out.
Well, ain't nothing like parking right there and seeing that over your shoulder pointing right at you. I got this cannon like pointing at my head.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to go out and find some old Confederates and colonists and whatever else we can find. These are all Confederate States of America veterans. Damn separatists. I don't know, my guess is he's an enlisted guy. He's carrying a rifle, no sword.
There used to be two cabins up here. I guess one of them has been lost
Did you ever hear the story about when the Marines landed in Tripoli? You know, like in the Marines hymn, and they're like from the halls of Monte. So when they landed there, they were like all ready to take over, and they had one cannon. And they loaded it, and the guy left the ramrod in the barrel, and they fired it off. All right, I guess we're done exploring for the day. Now we're gonna go. I'm gonna show Melanie how to Randonautica, and we're gonna go home. So, bye.
You got to be kidding me.
All right, now I hit record. Okay, so, oh, it just left. Anyway, this was our point, and it was this house, and
I believe this is the famous Von Stein murder house, where the man Leith Von Stein and his wife was murdered in their house by his stepson. It was part of a live action role play with Dungeons and Dragons. It happened in, what was it, 88? It was Chris Pritchard. His stepson killed him and seriously wounded his mother, Bonnie.
so there you have it. It took us to a happy ending.
It was not very happy for Leith.
That's weird.
And the other fellow that was involved was James Upchurch. He was convicted of first-degree murder, while Pritchard and his other co-conspirator, Gerald Nero Henderson, were convicted of aiding and abetting murder. But it was all part of a Dungeons and Dragons plot. There was actually a movie and 2 best-selling novels made about
That
this
curtain in there just moved.
There's probably somebody in there.
Probably looking at us like, why are they out there filming? All right.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of stuff, but we are in Smallwood, the Smallwood neighborhood.
It's at least
of
the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Well, before it becomes the John and Melanie house, I'm gonna get on out of here.
Yeah, before we get shot.
I'll have to go back. I just happened to look up at the house, wasn't looking at the screen, but I'd seen that curtain to the left of the door
Probably
move.
Yeah, and if we go back out on Market Street,
Uh-huh.
all right, so how this whole thing went down was how they found these kids was after they murdered Leaf and injured Bonnie, they went across the street into Market Street, just down the road. They went into the woods and started burning their clothes and trying to burn the evidence. But they didn't go far enough back in the woods, and someone come by and saw the fire from the road. And then police investigators went back there and discovered where James of Church was trying to burn off all the evidence.
This app never lets you down. All right, I think we are definitely done for the day after that one.
That's definitely not a happy ending. It's definitely an ending.
It's an ending. But, okay.
But yeah, they went across the street here, back off in those woods, back probably behind that the wood trailer out there in the woods.
Oh my. All right.
Wow.
Done.